Alright, so now that we got this thing unboxed, I'm going to, some of the earlier ones just push down on rubber clips, and the 15 and the 16 I think have the nuts that hold this top cover down. It's 4 10mm bolts, so I'm going to work on getting them removed so they're out of the way. Since I'm unplugging my O2 sensors, I'm just going to unplug my battery. And then this just kind of looks like it pops out of these little holders here for the O2. There. Alright, they both unplugged down here. It looks like the cover will have to be removed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 mils on the top till we can get down into here and get these cleaned. Okay, battery unhooked. O2 sensors are unplugged. I had to pull this one to be able to get this top shield off. It's a little tricky over here on this side. Kind of gets stuck right here at the top. But this is what your stock unit looks like right here at the top. Sure is a lot going on there. That's what I can say. Alright, well, we got this one out. Anytime you pull these O2 sensors, always be careful to not, 1, drop them. It will damage them. 2, keep them away from any kind of silicone-based spray or silicone, because that will damage them also. Alright, I'm going to have this little fancy tool. I'm going to get down in here. I'm going to pull this other one off and get it out of the way. And then we're going to lift up the vehicle and remove the lower heat shield and see what that takes. This shouldn't actually take that long to install this. I'm figuring I'm going to be somewhere around maybe an hour or 2 to get this thing entirely installed. Let's take a look at what all we have to remove down at the bottom. Okay, so we have to remove this cover right here. There's 10mm bolts all the way around the outer edges of this cover. So I've already got 2 removed, and I'm just slowly working my way with the battery ratchet here. So I'm going to get the rest of these off of here. All right. So, all right. Now, here we go. So, it looks like we have 2 nuts here holding on the header pipe to the straight pipe here, which runs back through. We have one here going into this bracket, and then there's actually 2 bolts that run through right back there, which need to come off also. So we're going to work on getting this lower pipe here off. So we might start on that back side and then here to here, and then get everything off. I'm going to take a wire brush to everything. I'm going to spray a little bit of stuff on it, so hopefully it aids in the removal. Here's something funny, like every single one of these, this is the second one or third one of these I've seen, and this bolt's not here. You would think it would be in here to hold this bracket in, but it's not. So I just kind of found that kind of funny. This car, I got it, it had 32,000 on it, so it's actually pretty new. Everything off down here on the bottom. I'm guessing we're just going to reuse, sorry, kind of hard to see. This is the gasket that was on the back. We're just going to reuse that. Had one snap, which I'm amazed one of them came off, because these usually always do snap right here. And then we had one here for this bracket snap. I just wanted to make sure that was out of the way so that we can lift this straight up. Alright, now to the top. Here we go. We're working on the top now to get everything off. I got the 3 lower ones out. I have to get the 4 across the top out. I'm just breaking them loose with a 3/8 ratchet here. I need an extension here for the lower, but I'll probably just break these loose. I do have the nice fancy ARP ones to put back in to replace those. Alright, well, definitely looks a whole lot better being in there and on. I should have just knew there was going to be problems when I unpacked it and I seen, you know, blemishes in the finish, which, I mean, in reality is not that big of a deal. The only thing I can say is the quality of the way this looks in comparison to like the full MPX rear exhaust that I got for the Neon SRT4 was definitely a higher quality. This is what the factory unit looks like off here. Alright, so I'm kind of torn here a little bit between two things. I mean, I would still have to extract these studs, and who knows if they're going to come out. I have the center one here, which broke off. There's actually enough there I can put a nut on. I think right now at this time, instead of trying to fight with that and get it out, I could weld onto it, and then I could end up, you know, you could open up a whole nother can of worms. Worms being more problems. Here is what the factory gasket here actually looked like. It was a 3-layer gasket, which would probably never leak. This is what they replace it with. I'm not sure. I can kind of read some of these numbers on here, but this is a lot thinner gasket to be reinstalled on here. So right now I'm going to go down underneath. I'll have another one of these nuts like here, what's on here, and I'll just use 3 of those across the top, and I'm just going to reuse what I have here, and just get it assembled. I shouldn't have any leaks. There's enough here to securely fasten that, at least 3 or 4 threads. I just got to watch how tight I get it, and then maybe I can retighten it after it gets some heat on it. Alright, so I'm going to have to actually go up top and remove this off of there and let it sit down. It probably would be good if you had like a second set of hands. Then you can get this kind of fed together. I'm going to grab the clamp that's supposed to go on here also while I'm up. Okay, here we go. Look, got this all figured out. Now, come down here, take a look. All right, it's coming down across. We got our bracket here. Here's this, which will pull this up a little bit. We still have to get it tight, and it's on. So basically what I did was I set the header down through. I got this slid into it, pulled it forward, got these bolts started here. I was using the old gasket, so that kind of gets it in place. And then I went up top and pulled up and got it forced up over the studs. It seems like that's the way to go. All right, I started to come down underneath. I still need to tighten this up yet, which I'm not quite sure. Probably, I think it'll be all right here. This is up high enough, so we'll just keep this clamp here. We got to get that tight. We're going to have to snug them up back there. On that side, I did let them loose. I didn't tighten them up the whole way. So we have the first O2 sensor. We're getting ready to put the one in for the cat. If you can look up through, check everything out. All right, now, what I did up here was, since I have access, I grabbed another bolt. Now, anytime I do exhaust stuff, I always like to put this on. One, it's high temp. It's good for 650 degrees. 2, it keeps the threads from galling, so they should be easier to come out when the time comes. And 3, it turns into like a rubber compound, so they won't vibrate loose. So that actually works out pretty nicely. They give you a little extender here for the second O2, so you can get that situated. I'm going to tighten this one up from the top, plug it in, and then I'm going to plug in our extender, and then I'm going to get ready to put in the other O2, tighten that exhaust up. I still have to remove this little bracket here from this pipe, so I have to clean these threads up, and then I'll get this piece backed out, and then we'll reuse this bolt, the other bolt, and this little bracket, and get it fixed up on. We are slowly coming along. I would think that we should have this thing started in the next 10 minutes maybe. I'm gonna get it started up. I'm gonna double check for any leaks around where the header is or any of the areas that we've had apart and rejoined. See how it sounds. I mean, that's the whole reason we did this. All right, we got everything, everything's good to go. So we're gonna do our first startup, and you get to hear it. I think it sounds like a tin can. So all right, I mean, it did probably sound a little weird that it was our first startup with the battery unhooked. I mean, this is what you got. It's on. I did just tie the wiring up over this way, so I wanted to get this and try this out, but I'm probably going to end up ordering the whole entire catback system to go onto this car, and with all hopes, depending on how bad this thing sounds going down the road, it's probably going to be pretty soon. All right, let's check this. Everything looks pretty good. No leaks. No leaks. Here's our zip ties. Got them. I didn't bother cutting them off. It's not going to hurt nothing because it's going to have this lower shield on it. So you can see we got a little bit of smoke coming off there. There's going to be more to burn off. I'm going to get this lower shield back on, and hopefully get the chance to take this thing for a drive here soon, and we'll see what it sounds like. So, how does it sound on a stock exhaust with the header? Right now I'm about 15 mile an hour, right about 2,000 RPMs in second gear, so 4 grand, 5, 6. So, you know, not too bad. All right, slow down a little bit here. Second gear. Let's see if we can see what it sounds like here. much on the down rev. But hopefully that gives you an idea of what it sounds like with just the MPX header on the car with the factory exhaust. I mean, I only have 3 miles or 4 miles on this thing, so we'll run it a little bit, but we're probably gonna end up ordering the entire catback exhaust that's supposed to go on the Dart with this header. So I was just curious what it sounded like. I mean, initially I wasn't exactly happy with how everything looked, the way that it was made in comparison to like the MPX exhaust for the SRT4. The welds and stuff on the header just didn't look as nice as what you would assume that they should. So, you know, I guess it kind of is what it is. It's a give and take. It's not like super great, but this is it. All right, see ya.